good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to spend some time learning about Abram Interstate as well as AU Gold, and in particular the AU Gold Dwelling Fire product. I know there's some varying levels on the call of people that know us, both of us, so we're going to, cater to people that probably are new-ish to us, so sorry if you know us pretty well, and we're covering some repetitive items that you might already know. To start off, who am I? My name is John Poucher. I'm the sales manager here at Abram Interstate Insurance Services, multi-line wholesaler that's been in business, doing business in the West since 1996, so this is our 20th anniversary. Along with me on the call is Garrett Jelly from our partners at AU Gold, Atrium Underwriters. I'll let Garrett introduce himself and as well give you a couple of housekeeping items on the WebEx to make sure your webinar experience goes as well as possible.
Thanks, John. Yeah, this is Garrett. I'm heavily involved with AU Gold. AU Gold is owned by a Lloyd's syndicate, but we're actually based in San Francisco. A couple of things, guys, to note for the webinar. Firstly, everybody is on mute, so if you have questions, if you could type them into the chat box. There's a little chat section in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. So you can type in any questions that you have, and we'll go over all of those questions at the end. The second thing, the image on your screen probably appears quite small. There's a little button in the top right corner with two arrows pointing outwards. If you click on that button, it will expand the screen for you. Okay? Back to you, John.
Thank you, Garrett. To access the Gold, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Abram Interstate Insurance Services, how you access our partnership with AU Gold, and just a brief snippet about Abram Interstate Insurance Services. As I stated previously, we are a multi-line wholesaler MGA. We do business in personal insurance, commercial insurance, and agribusiness. We are considered a generalist with surplus lines products as well as admitted products and every single line type here. A little thing about our website. Our website has a plethora of information on it. I highly recommend that after this call, if you are newish to us, that you come back to our main website and poke around. We read more information about Abram Interstate. You have the About, where you can learn more about our company, our community efforts, careers, partnerships with the different carriers and partners that we do business with. Our blog, it goes over certain business tips. We do a weekly business tips, and we also do a weekly product highlight. And then our FAQ page. Want to know something about us that might seem pretty simple? It's probably on this tab. Also, if you're involved in social media at all, you or your agency, here's where you can find Abram Interstate on all the different social media sites. And here's our RSS feed for our blog down here. Also, our one feature I want to make sure to highlight is our chat feature, our iHelp chat. You click on this button, a page will appear, and you can chat directly with our account managers and with the different line types. You're going to have your personal lines, your commercial lines, and your accounting. You can actually chat with our accounting department as well. You were talking to our employees here in Rockland, California. That's one thing that our agents are surprised by. They would think that with the chat you're going to go to some service center that might be short off-seas or overseas. Brokerage agreement. If you're new to us, you're looking at Abram Interstate for the first time, want to look at our agreement, you can find all the documents located here. But for today's efforts, to access all of our online rating engines, you're going to go to the top left-hand side of our website and tap on the Instant Quotes tab. Personal lines, professional lines, and commercial lines. You can click on any of these tabs and they'll simply drop you down further in the page to where those online raters begin for that line of business. So for today, we're going to be highlighting Dwelling Fire business with AU Gold. So you click on this link right here, which should take you to the login for AU Gold. And you enter your username and your password here. If you're new to us and you do not have a username and password, please email marketing@abramInterstate.com. That's marketing@abramInterstate.com. And that can be found in the directory on the Abram Interstate homepage as well. Gareth, over to you.
Wonderful. Thanks, John. And again, this is Gareth J. from AU Gold. What I'm going to do today is give you a quick run-through of the AU Gold products, and then also take you through the program, the AU Gold program, showing you how easy it is to submit business to Abram Interstate. So AU Gold, in a nutshell, is a web-based platform that allows you to get indications, submit your indications, and gain policies in a matter of minutes. So the whole process takes minutes. You can then print the policies in a matter of seconds. So it's a very quick way of writing that small premium business. And for those who joined a little late, if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the instant messenger section in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and we will address them at the end. Okay, so what we've got here then is a summary of the AU Gold products. I'm just going to quickly touch on these, and again, if you have questions, let us know. So the first product that I'm going to go through is the vacant property. This covers both vacant residential and commercial exposures. Building limits available up to $1 million in-house, but you can submit for up to $3 million on the vacant dwellings. We do also cover things like other structures, personal property or BPP. We do always offer a package, so liability is available, up to $1 million on the residential side and $1.2 million on the commercial. We also offer varying forms, so both a DP1 and a DP3, and on the commercial side a basic and a special form. The other thing that we do, which makes us competitive, is we do remain on risk for up to 4 years and longer if required. So we appreciate that buildings do remain vacant for longer periods. Excuse me. And so 4 years is what the system allows, but if you need more than that, you can submit those to us. The nice thing with the vacant program, we've been doing it for many, many years, and so we like to think we do a reasonable job of this product. As a result, the rating is very competitive, and our hit rate in terms of quotes to binds is almost 50% on the vacant program, which means if you invest your time entering a risk, half of what you enter will bind in the system. So hopefully it's a good use of your time. The other thing to note is we do offer things like theft coverage and vandalism. So it's a very broad coverage, very good price. The next product is a dwelling fire program, which I'm going to skip over for now because we'll go through this in more detail during the webinar. But this in a nutshell is the residential occupants, so tenant, owner, seasonal, etc., etc. I'll bypass that one for now. We've then got a couple of renovation type products. So the builder's renovation, this covers existing buildings that are going through renovation, whether it be gut rehab, structural, knocking walls down. Anything a bit hairier can go in this program. Again, we'll cover both commercial and residential risks, and TIDs up to $2 million. We do offer the other structures, personal property, and we offer the liability. The nice thing with this program, we do offer the liability, even if the insured is acting as the GC. So as long as the insured isn't doing the work, and as long as they have subcontractors doing the work, they can act as the GC. Again, we offer the broader perils, so the DP3 and the special form. We'll also write the risk if the risk is on knob and tube wiring, as long as that is being replaced during the project, the renovation work. We do also have the ability to offer a theft sublimit. That sublimit is available on a DP1 as well as a DP3 and a basic form as well as a special form. So again, very competitive product. We will also write the risk if the building is occupied. So if the tenant's present or maybe the building owner is living in the property, we can still write the risk. We'll also consider the risk if the work has already begun, so we can look at those exposures as well. So So this has been a great product for us over the last 12 months as the economy is picking up. We've then got a true builder's risk or a ground-up course of construction. This is the ground-up builds. Will cover projects up to 2 million. And again, the other thing we will do is liability. So we can write a package policy for these ground-up builds. We then throw in things like soft cost, property in transit, and again, we do offer theft of materials. So this has been a good product for us too. Vacant land, this is the premise liability on the land. Fairly straightforward product really, covering up to 500 acres. We will consider the risk or write the risk if there is a structure present. So as long as it's not too big, maybe a barn, a shed, a small property, we can write that vacant liability policy. We just exclude the structure. We then have a couple of commercial products. So these two columns here cover some of our commercial exposures. So we'll cover things like lesser's risk, office package, retail mercantile. We're covering both the landlord or the tenant, okay? We'll also cover mixed use, so maybe you've got some restaurants on the ground floor and some apartments above. Or maybe it's just a retail store and there's also a laundromat. We can cover mixed tenants or mixed occupants within this program. Building limits up to 2 million, with TIVs up to 3 million. Liability is available. Things like non-owned auto or property enhancement forms can be added at little cost. Property enhancement form costs just $150. And then we also have the ability to write a basic as well as a special form. So these two columns here will cover pretty much any type of commercial exposure. Maybe you don't want to cover the landlord, you want to cover just the tenant. So we can easily do that. So the BPP, the business income and the liability. So we can pretty much cover all types of commercial exposure within those columns there. The final couple then, we have a special events program. Minimum premiums of $250. And that $250 covers host liquor in most states. It covers a reschedule date, so if the insured wants to amend the date of the event for whatever reason, we can do so with no additional charge. And we also cover the additional insured themselves. So all of that is for $250. And then the final product we have is a kiosk, concessionaire, booth, pushcart type exposure. The kind of risks you'd see in the shopping mall, the farmer's market, the airport. And we're just covering the physical damage to the booth, the BPP, and also the liability. So that's a quick overview of the products that we have available. What I'm going to do now is just run you through the program AU Gold. So John kindly showed you how you would access AU Gold via the Abram Interstate website. When you've entered your login, this is what you're going to see. This is the home page for AU Gold. You'll see the product drop down here, and this covers all of the products that we've just been through on that matrix. The great thing with the system is the process is practically the same for all products. So although we're going to go through the dwelling fire, I'm going to give you a good overview of how the process works for each of our products. Just to quickly run through the screen, this middle section here will show you anything that you've recently worked on. So if you were to do a quote, or you're looking at a bound policy, and you log out of AU Gold, when you log back in, this is a quick way of getting into your work. At the bottom here we have an inbox. So anything that you submit to Abram Interstate, and I'll show you how we do that today, will be sent to the Abram Interstate individual. It will be sent to the underwriters who handle the business. When the underwriter reviews the risk and responds to you, their response will appear in this inbox here. It will also appear in your regular inbox. So if you're not logged into AU Gold, you will still receive the email from Abram in your regular inbox, basically telling you to log into AU Gold and process the binder or print the quote, for example. So that's basically all that is now. Okay, so we're going to go to dwelling fire. And when you click on the product, it gives you a little overview or a little description of what the product is. The first thing that we'll do is a quick quote. Now the quick quote is designed to give you very quick indications whether it be over the phone or maybe you're out marketing, you're sitting with the insured and you want to give them a quick price while you're with them. This quick quote enables you to give a price in a matter of seconds just by answering these few questions here. So it's a real quick way of getting a price out there. And all we do is answer a few questions. So we can cover 1 to 4 families in the dwelling fire. Let's go with 1 family. We then have the type of occupant, so we can see it pretty much covers any type of residential occupant. Owner, tenant, maybe the owner lives in one unit and rents out the others, secondary, seasonal, short-term, vacation, condo, pretty much all types of residential occupant can fit in this program. I'm going to go with a straightforward tenant. We'll then type in the name. We'll put in the zip code. Protection class, you can see we can cover 1 to 10. We do have lower limits on 9 and 10, but if you need a bit higher, you can submit to Abram, who will have a little bit of leeway on those limits. In terms of the dwelling, or the coverage A limit, we have up to 750,000 in California, and you can actually submit to Abram for up to $1 million. So coverage A, system allows up to 750, Abram have up to $1 million upon referral to us. So we can cover some fairly big dwellings in this program. We've then got the construction type. We can also, as I've said, we can cover condo units. I'm going to go with no for that because we're going to cover the actual building, but if you wanted the condo, that's where you would select it. We then have a question regarding the age of the building or the upgrades. I'll come back to this question in a second. We can also cover things like other structures and also personal property. And if you want either of those coverages, you simply say yes and type in the limit that you require. Now, if you want a limit that's bigger than what the system allows, again, just submit those to Abram because we can consider larger limits. For example, the limit for other structures is 10%. If you need 20%, that's fine. Just send them into Abram. We then have the question regarding the deductible. Ranges from 1,000 to 10,000. The bigger the deductible, the bigger the credit that will apply to the premium. We can also cover things like wood stoves. We then have a question regarding the type of quote. So we can cover both a DP1 and a DP3. To qualify for the DP3, that's where this question comes in. So the wrist must have been built or upgraded in the last 40 years. And basically what we're looking for is, let's say the wrist was built in 1900, but the electrics and the plumbing were done in the last 40 years, so 76, we can write the DP3, okay? It's just worth pointing out, a lot of people miss the second part of the question. So as long as the upgrades are done, you can select this option. If you did select 40 plus, so let's say 41 to 50, you will see that the system defaults to a DP1. So the great thing with AU Gold is it won't let you do anything that we don't need to do. So let's go to DP3. We can also, in this program, we can cover some cosmetic renovations. So if the landlord is doing some work to the property, we can cover that in this product. Maybe the landlord's improving the kitchen or the bathroom, doing some minor updates, they can be written in here as well. We then have the option of the liability, or if you want, we can do monoline property, just by selecting no to this question. If you do want the liability, simply say yes, and then you can write up to $1 million in the liability. We also have MedPay options available, we can write acreage, and we can also cover the swimming pool liability. So we can pretty much cover all types of liability exposures here. We'll then click calculate, and the system will generate a price very quickly for you. Now once you've got the indication, you can actually print a copy of this, which will generate a PDF on the screen, that you can send out to the insured, just so they've got a copy for themselves. The nice thing with this indication, it contains all of the answers that we've entered, along with the premium, and then we also attach a blank application to the quick quote. This application addresses all of the questions in AU Gold, and it does so in the same order, and you'll notice that it's only a couple of pages long, so it's pretty quick to get through the application. So that's the quick quote stage. The next step, assuming that the insured is happy with the price, is to convert this to a full quote. The full quote is still very quick and easy, but we do ask a few additional questions just to make sure we get all the information about the risk. Okay, so let's click on Convert to Full Quote. The first page that we'll come to is the eligibility page. Now we have this page first so that you find out straight away if a risk qualifies or not, but it will also kick out any risks that we don't want. So for example, has the applicant been involved in bankruptcy, convicted of arson, all your general kind of questions. If you were to say yes there, the system wouldn't let you proceed, okay? So this just filters out those risks that we don't want. And you'll navigate through this very quickly. And at the bottom here, you can also see that basically what I said before, in California you have up to 750 for the dwelling limit. So that's the eligibility page. The next page is the applicant page. This page is basically information about the insured. So it's the applicant name, the insured location, and the mailing address. You'll notice that some of the data is already in here, and that's because we've done a quick quote. It automatically transfers the data across. So there's no double keying of information. You enter it once, and it remains in the system. The other thing that we have here is the Google Maps link. So you can actually pull up the risk in Google and check out the building, check out the neighbourhood, just make sure you're happy before you proceed. Click on the street view here, and there you have it. And then you can just spin around and check out what's going on. So it's quite a useful little feature that we've added. And that's pretty much it for that page. The other thing you can do if you wish is add additional insureds here. Simply click on the button, type in the name, select the type of AI, put in the address, click on Add, and then you will see that it adds the AI along the bottom. If you want to add another one, simply click on the button again. So that's the applicant page. The next page we come to is the coverage tab, and again you'll notice that most of the questions have been answered here, because we've done the quick quote and again it dragged the data across. There's one additional question here, which is basically loss of rent, and we actually give you up to 20% at no additional cost if you select it. So if you want loss of rent, simply say yes, and then you can type in up to 20%, and that is given at no additional cost. I'm going to say no for now. If this were an owner-occupied risk, we would also offer additional living expenses at 10% of the coverage A. Okay, so that's pretty much the other thing we offer here is extended replacement costs, so that is available as well if you want that. And that's up to 125% of the building value. The final thing to note here is if there have been any losses, we ask that you list them in here. Simply type in what the claim was, the value, is it open or closed, basically any information about the claim. As a general rule, if the claim is closed and the damage is repaired, there shouldn't be a problem with writing the risk. It may change the price slightly, but for the most part we should be able to accommodate the risk. So there are all the coverage questions. I've just clicked continue. We're at the liability tab. Again, we've done the quick quote, and so we can just skip through this because all the questions have been answered. Now we're at the premium page, and this page gives you an overview of the coverage and also the price. One thing to note here If the price appears to be a little high, Abram do have some credit flexibility. So if it's a good risk and the price is a bit high, the guys at Abram can apply some credits to the pricing. And that's pretty much it. They're all the questions that we are required to answer. We're now at the summary page, which is the final page of the process. The summary page gives you an overview of the price and also the coverage. From here we can actually print a full indication just by clicking print application. This will be a PDF, a bit like the quick quote, so this is far more comprehensive. So this will contain things like the completed application form, it will contain the forms list, the price. There it is. It breaks down the premium by property and liability. Gives you a bit more information about the property coverages, liability coverage, and then we have the forms list. So all the forms that are within the policy are listed here. And we then have the completed application. So everything that I've just entered during the webinar will appear on this completed application here. And then at the end there's a declaration to be signed. The other thing we do is we do automatically attach state-specific forms. So in California there are a few forms that are required. The system automatically attaches those for you. If this was a commercial risk, the TRIA disclosure would also be attached to the quote as well. So hopefully there's nothing that you need to do other than get this signed and send it into Abram for binding. With these quotes, you can actually email them straight to the insured if you want. You can fax them, print them. You can do whatever you want with these PDFs. So we're nearly there. We've printed the indication. The final thing then is to submit the risk. So you simply click submit, and then you've got the option of binding or getting a quote. Let's say you want to bind because you're happy with the price. Click continue. The final thing then to do is select where it's going. So is it a commercial lines risk or a personal? We're going to go personal lines. We'll click add recipient, type in a message, and then click continue. That will then send the email to the Abram underwriter, so Marty. It will go to her regular inbox. It will also go to the AU Gold inbox that I showed you at the beginning. And then we'll click continue. And that's literally all you do. The next step then is for the Abram guys to receive. They'll receive this indication, this referral. They will then log in. They can bind the policy. You can then go in and print the policy, as I said at the start, in a matter of seconds. It's very quick to process that. So that's a real quick run through of the process. Hopefully you found it fairly intuitive. It's fairly straightforward, to be honest, but if you do have any questions, feel free to type away now and I will do my best to answer them for you. Okay, first question. On the dwelling fire, is there an option to buy theft coverage? So we automatically give theft on a DP3. So theft is available on a DP3 with vandalism. And that covers the materials though. So let's say theft of copper, air conditioning units. It covers anything that's fitted. It doesn't cover the contents. We've then got a question, is there an option for replacement value on content? That's a good question. At the moment, the contents are written on an ACV basis. We are looking to offer an RCV, but at the moment it is ACV. One thing I would say, most of the policies that we sell in here are tenant policies, landlord policies, whereby there's not a ton of contents. It's things like furniture, maybe a stove, and so the fact that it's an ACV is not proven to be a big deal because we're not covering the electrical items such as your TVs, etc., etc. Right, I've now got another question. Can we write the builder's renovation for a home clipper who will have previous owner renting back for 30 to 60 days? That's a good question. I think we probably could. It would depend on the size of the home flipper. AU Gold is designed for single locations. We do try and accommodate certain schedules if they're not too big. So if it's not too big, we can definitely consider. In terms of renting back to the prior owner, we can do that. The main requirement there is that the previous owner and the new owner have an amicable agreement, and let's say that the prior owner wasn't kicked out because they couldn't afford it, i.e. a foreclosure. So as long as it was an amicable purchase sale agreement, I don't see an issue with the prior owner renting back the property. But what I would say is just submit those to Abram to begin with.
Yeah, Garrett, I'll add, we can do larger schedules in-house, so wherever your capacity might stop, we do have some other opportunities.
Sure. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, well, just before we finish, or before I finish my piece, I just want to quickly go back to the home page, so we're going to click home here.
Hey, Garrett, I'm going to pause you real quick. I have two more questions.
Oh, sure.
Got sent to me directly. Can you go with right standalone BPP?
Sorry, say that again, John.
Can EU Gold right standalone BPP?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
All right, and actually the other question I can answer, I'll send out the underwriting guidelines that you had, that matrix that we're on the call after this.
Yeah, I'll also show you now, guys, where you can actually access that. So I've just clicked home. On the right-hand side, you'll see this product form link here, so we'll click on that. Within this little section, you have all the products. Let's click on vacant, for example. Within that, you then have the application forms. You'll have product highlights. We have sample policies. So there's tons of information under these links. You can also review the individual forms. So simply type in what you want, and the system will pull up the form, and then you can just print it as a PDF. So there's a lot of information in here. In terms of the little matrix that I showed you at the beginning, so we've gone into this page again, scroll to the bottom, click on product comparison, and there it is. Okay. So it's worth having a quick look around this link here. There's a lot of information. Okay, well that's pretty much it for me. John, is there anything you want to finish on?
That's it. Thank you everyone for your time this afternoon. We really appreciate it. Look forward to writing more business with all of you.
Yeah, and that goes for me, guys. Really appreciate you attending, and thanks for listening, and we look forward to doing more business as well.